Welcome back. Welcome to another week of programming, another mostly beautiful week of weather in the neighborhood. This Monday, today, the 11th day of October, has been beautiful, just as was expected. We've got much more of the same. There is some differences, though, in this week and last. A couple of cold fronts. The first one, not making many rain showers, maybe none. We'll see some winds noticeable, though, and we'll see a few other things, but we'll see the 70s very consistently through most, but not all, of your 7-day outlook. Temperatures will fall to the low 60s by the end of the weekend. It will be sunny, but it will be noticeably cooler on your Sunday. And I'll fill in the blanks for everything in between in just a few moments. Okay, before we go any further, starting off, it's never a good way to have to start a program, but making some apologies. I understand that the Foothills feed did not have any audio on Friday night, and that, of course, is a little part of a long, ongoing problem that we've spoke about on numerous occasions. The good news is that when I came into the office today and checked with my friend Bob over there, the long-awaited server that essentially runs Channel 4 is actually in-house. It has taken months to find, to locate, to order, and receive. And installation set for this week, maybe as soon as tomorrow. And that will get things back to a much smoother operation. And we're looking so forward to that. That will also mean that all the programming, the meetings, and things of that nature will start to be on more so. And as well, hopefully the audio problems will subside, and the replay at 11, and then the following morning at 7 and 9, those will all be back on air. The replay at 11 has been going on now for months, but it's been a manual situation to where literally someone has to come into this studio and then replay the show from 6 o'clock, and it's not always as easy as it sounds. So we are very close to getting things back to normal and ironed out, and I'm so glad to hear that. I'm thankful that they've been working on that for as long as they have, so bear with us. We're about there. With that said, I got an update from our mayor, and also in wearing the hat of the health director too today. But as far as the mayor is concerned, he says that there's been some issues with city taxes which have gone out, and he says actually city tax bills were mailed last week, and so far at least 50 and maybe even more have been returned from the post office, and they're really unsure why. Some of them were to the physical address, some of them were to P.O. boxes, and they really aren't too sure as to yet why they were returned, according to Shepard. Mostly, though, it's for Dixie residents and those in the Oxshire Branch area. Not just those areas, but for the most part. So, and I don't recall seeing mine come in the mail this week. Nevertheless, if you haven't received yours, two things. You can either stop by City Hall or give them a call and see if it's been returned, or you can wait. They're going to start hand delivering those starting tomorrow. So with that said, seeing a police officer with the city of Sagersville pull up to the driveway and get out and come to the door with a piece of paper in his hand might be a little of a reason to not answer the door, but you're not being served. Just some tax bills which were returned. They'll start to do that on tomorrow. When we come back, how are we going to start off with COVID this week in McGoffin County? How did we fare over the weekend? I have those numbers for you in just a message or two.
Just click on ConleyTire.net and you can shop for tires, find out more about services, brands, wheels, rims, their free coffee, free Wi-Fi, and free local shuttle service, and of course the latest and greatest current offers and specials, like how right now you can get up to $150 back on a set of Goodyears. That's ConleyTire.net, or you can always stop by in Staffordsville or give them a call at 297-2424. You asked for it, and now they're back. Spicy Bourbon Dippers are back at your Sagersville Lee's, and the name says it all, except to say that they will make you shake your tail feathers. Get an order or a meal before they're gone again. Spicy Bourbon Dippers are back at your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. Nostalgic or historic or whatever you want to call that feeling you get when you walk in and sit down at the counter and get a scoop of ice cream or a hot dog with sauce while your hometown pharmacist gets your prescriptions ready. Whatever it is, it's still here at Fraser's Prater Drug. Only better, with everything from Jelly Bellies to fresh popcorn to hot and cold gourmet coffees, even hot fudge cakes and banana splits. Fraser's Prater Drug hasn't forgot how important the little things in life are, and they don't want you to either. Stop and see them. They're just a couple of doors down from another Salyersville gym, the Seasonal Shop. There's no missing that this is the new McFarland and Tinker Law Office location on the Mountain Parkway in the former Farm Bureau building in Salyersville, just like there's no denying that their nearly 60 years of legal experience has won their clients millions and millions of dollars in disability, auto accident, and wrongful death cases. It's where your case matters to you and to us. McFarland and Tinker, also Griffey approved.
When we get to funeral service announcements and our obituaries in just a few moments, sadly, several to pass along tonight. As many of you, I believe, know by now, one of those will be Vivian Conley, of course, our friend and just recent widow of Captain Carter Conley of the Rescue Squad. Visitation is this evening at the Methodist Church just across the way, the church that she and Carter attended for so many years and loved. And then services are there tomorrow. I'll have the complete details on our obituaries in just a few moments, but in lieu of the fact that that's where I'm heading, the show was taped just a bit earlier and put on autopilot, so to speak. So I don't have state COVID numbers today. I do have those, however, from the Montgomery County Health Department. Let's back up real quickly. Oh, and by the way, just things, I have to say things when they hit me. In lieu of the audio problems that we had on Friday, I've got Friday Night Lights, which were Thursday Night Lights last week when the Hornets took to the home field for the very first time. So I'll have the story on their first home game, big game, in just a few moments, replaying that from Friday. Now, sorry. With that said, the health department numbers do indicate that we are starting off, that we ended not just last week very well and about as where we thought we were headed. But so far, technically 2 days into this week, we're still heading in the same direction.
Let's begin with the top right of your screen and talk about last week's numbers in totality. That was Sunday through Saturday. 3, 2, 5, 11. That was the peak. 3, 3, and then 8 on Saturday. Totals up to 35 cases last week here in Montgomery County. The week before that, we had 64. The week before that, we had 125. And the week before that, we had 130. So definitely from the last few weeks of September and the first 2 weeks or so of October, a significant change. We've dropped off by half for the past 2 weeks, 125, 64, and then down to 35, close to half at least. So how did we do Sunday and today? There were 0 cases reported yesterday and 3 new cases reported again today. So starting off this note, so far, 2 days in, very similar to what we did last week. Now, the number of hospitalized, bottom right, stands at 5. That number has gone up by 1 from our last report. The positivity rating for Montgomery County, as per calculated by the health department, which uses the same formula that the state does, 32.6. I cannot recall. I would do some digging to find out how far we'd have to go back to see when Montgomery County was last at 32.6. Still above the red 25. 25 to put you in the red or critical zone, but nevertheless, that's good news. Also, some other good news in Montgomery County, we have 37 active cases at this time. We had close to 60, I believe it was, the latter part of last week, and for many weeks we had well over 100 active cases. I do have state numbers just released by the governor's office today, and a Monday unlike a Monday in months. I don't have that time frame either, but 722 new cases reported today in the Commonwealth. I mean, 1,800 has been a low Monday for the past several weeks. Deaths, though, I mean, still at 23 because of those high days of cases that we saw. But nevertheless, 722 cases to start off the week today. The positivity rating down as well. We're down into the 8s at 8.26%. The number of people getting vaccinated in Kentucky is still going up, but ever so slowly. 2,745,220 who have been vaccinated. On the note of vaccine, going back to the Montgomery County Health Department, I believe they are going to have vaccines available this Wednesday. I'll double check that for you on tomorrow's program and let you know, but I'm thinking they were going to have vaccine available on Wednesday of this week. And of course, as it's always been at the health department, it would be the Moderna. So 722 new cases reported. Let's take a look at our state incident rate map. Significant changes there as well. We've got 19 counties not in the red. That's a lot. I mean, that doesn't sound like it, but comparatively as to where we've been, that's a good increase. It means 101 counties in the red or critical zone, which is anything over 25. I do not see a single county in the red that's over 100. Several 80s, Whitley 87.5 there, and a couple of other 80s, and those appear to be the highest. We had half of the county over 100, half of the state over 100. It feels as though it might have even been more than that. I can't recall. It was a lot, obviously. McGoffin County down into the 30s. As you saw, it's actually a little lower than that per real-time numbers from the health department, as you saw earlier in the show. Johnson County flirting with getting out of the red at 27.7. Morgan's way out, 7.5. Elliott, 7.6. Lawrence County at 65, and Floyd's at 65. Not 38.8. Perry County, one of those counties in the 80s at 82.1. Wolf just under 60. A lot of counties still in the critical zone. A lot of counties still seeing a lot of cases, but all showing better numbers, at least across the board. A McGoffin County man is in critical condition tonight following a motorcycle accident over the course of the weekend. His friend and fellow rider was killed in that crash. It happened in Estill County. I actually reached out to an individual close with William Bebop Hall, and I'm expecting a return call possibly before the end of the show, if not hopefully with some more details tomorrow, and it's not just his condition only, which is of course the main thing we want to hear about, but also the accident, which we still do not have a great number of details on. We do know that some motorcycle riders with the Southern Brothers Motorcycle Club, that they were in Estill County on Highway 82 when the accident happened. It was near the Powell County line. We know that per the coroner's office in that county, one of the men died at the scene. He's been identified as 59-year-old Michael Shelley Hilton of Stanton, Kentucky. He was a member, as I said, of the Southern Brothers Motorcycle Club, and funeral services are going to be held at the club this Thursday at noon at their location. As for the individual injured, William Bebop Hall of Sagersville was critically injured, has already undergone numerous surgeries at the University of Kentucky Hospital, where he is at this hour. As far as how the accident happened, I do not know at this time. I do know that it involved one passenger car and the two motorcycles. I believe there as well were maybe some other motorcycles with the group with them. That has not been confirmed. But I will have some details for you, if not before I leave you tonight, on tomorrow's program. A lot of football again due to the audio problems. I'm looking forward to showing this again to you tonight, so I'll get to that in just a few seconds. Right now, I do have an updated McGoffin Farm Bureau sponsored community calendar. We still will this week find out everything when I interview at least one of the organizers with the Royalton Walnut Festival, which is this coming Saturday, so bear with me. But for now, just remember, it's coming Saturday at the Battlefield Park in Royalton. A number of local vendors. We've got Rebecca Lynn Howard. We've got a great many other artists that you see here all performing all next Saturday. So look for all the details in this week's Sagersville Independent again and here on the show. But a big time to be had at the annual and continued growing Walnut Festival in Royalton. And a reminder that Halloween Town is open, up, and ready for you every weeknight, 7 days a week, roughly around 4 to roughly around 10 o'clock every night on the Gardner Farm on top of the Ivy Point Hill. That's right. Kids, come by, check it out. It is a wonderful place to see. Sights and sounds, a few ghosts and goblins as well creeping about, but a lot of lights to keep you safe as well. And it's a wonderful sight to see. Remember, we're also in forest fire hazard season. No burning until after 6 o'clock. None whatsoever. No burning until after 6 o'clock. And that's until you can burn after 6 p.m., but not after 6 a.m. the following day. And all fires have to be out and tended to properly. And I'll tend to your calendar announcement, birthdays, and anniversaries too. If you'll just send me the information, I will be glad to pass it along and let everyone know all about it. Turning to funeral services tonight, as I mentioned earlier, hard reading obituaries every night. It's even harder when they're your friends. And then it's even tougher when they're friends that have gone through what they have. And that's not just for Vivian and Carter's family either. That's for a lot of McGoffin County families who have lost a lot of loved ones throughout this pandemic. Nevertheless, services for Vivian Likens Conley, 65 of Rockhouse Subdivision, wife of Carter Conley, will be held tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Vivian was the daughter of the late Arlie and Lou Edith Conley Likens Litton. Of course, married to Carter Conley for 38 years. Carter passing away just days, a couple of weeks earlier on September the 12th. She's also preceded in death by her son, Joe David J.D. Conley. He passed away just a couple of days after Christmas back in 2018. Vivian is survived by her son, Robert Carter, Robbie Conley, his wife, Veronica, precious granddaughter, Riley Addison, Nicole Conley of Moorhead, 3 sisters, Sue Ferguson, Gay Harmon, and Christy Copley, and a host of family and friends and a community as well, who misses her a great deal. So tonight there is a visitation that's from 6 to 8 at the Prater Memorial Methodist Church, United Methodist Church, here on Church Street in downtown Sagersville, just a catty corner from my office. And a celebration of life will be held in her honor at the church tomorrow at 1. The Northcutt and Son Funeral Home in Moorhead is in charge of the arrangements. Services have now been set for 71-year-old Douglas Patrick of Far Middle Fork. He passed away Thursday at the Paul B. Hall Medical Center, the son of the late Dean and Aline Ray Patrick. He's survived by his wife, Rose Anna Lane Patrick, son Jimmy, and daughters Tanya Patrick, Dameron, Debbie Patrick, brother Dallas, and as well as sisters Bethel Stevens and Bernice Stevens, and 11 grandchildren. Services tomorrow at 1 from the Fritz Church of God. Visitation began this afternoon at 4 and up until services begin tomorrow at 1. 71-year-old Vera Sue Howard of LaPorte, Indiana, but formerly of McGoffin County, passed away Wednesday. Born in McGoffin County to the late Troy Minix Jr. and Rosie Whitaker. She is survived by her daughter, Kayla Lindsay Howard, and 6 grandchildren. She's preceded in death by her husband, Billy Joe. Funeral services will be Wednesday at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation will be Wednesday morning at 11. And a reminder of services to be held for Myers T. Caldwell, 90 of Tommy Dyer Street. Survived by son Michael T. Caldwell and brothers Jim and Robert Caldwell. Services once again at noon. Wednesday at noon from the Sayersville Funeral Home. The family will welcome friends that morning at 11. 79-year-old Lynn Hackworth of Sayersville passed away Saturday over the weekend at the Irvin Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. He was the son of the late D. Colin Doc Hackworth and Velma Patton Hackworth. He's survived by a daughter, Tammy Hackworth, and 6 grandkids, 9 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild, as well as a sister, Rosella Pennington, and brothers, Joe and Ned Hackworth. In addition to his parents, Lynn is preceded in death by a daughter, Mahala Beth Shively. A memorial service is to be announced at a later date. Lanson McCarty Jr., 60, of Pricey Creek, passed away on Sunday at his home, survived by his mother, his wife, Velvet Gullett McCarty, son Brandon Leslie McCarty, daughters, I believe it is, Fancy Tanika Elam, Terry Joe Barker, brothers Eddie McCarty, Brian McCarty, Jerry McCarty, sisters Vicky Barnett and Melinda McCarty, and 9 grandkids. Funeral services in his honor will start Thursday at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home Wednesday evening for visitation, prior to services the following day. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works. 349-9999.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Okay, I've said it a couple of times, but in lieu of the audio issues that were had on the Foothills feed at 6 and then the issue again at 11 o'clock on Friday, we're going to replay the Thursday night Hornet football highlights for you tonight. That's right. 7 weeks in, it took that long for the Montgomery County Hornets to get their first home game. You know, the season started off with a COVID cancellation. Then they started off rolling over Prestonsburg, Knott Central, and Bellevue. Three games, 3 wins. They lost 2 in a row. Won to Lawrence County 14-43, and then Belfry did to the Hornets what Belfry is known to do on September the 24th. So that means the Hornets had an open week before they hosted Floyd Central at home, and then in lieu of it being fall break, it was on Thursday night. So the Hornets going into that game were 3-2. This was their first district win, and this was much more than just an all-needed home and district game because a sure spot in the playoffs was on the line.
Yeah, they're 3-2 before last night. It's a district game. It's a home game. It's a big game. In what Coach Gamble says is an even tougher, an even much tougher season than last year in the pandemic.
This year's absolutely worse. Tonight we didn't have a full roster, and we've yet to have a full roster. Not only have we not been able to play with our full team, we haven't been able to practice with our full team. We've yet to have one practice with a full squad because of quarantines, and then you got some injuries and bugs and stuff like that. But, last week when we went to 2 weeks ago when we went to Belfry, we had 7 starters out. So, would it have affected the game? Maybe not. They may have just beat us anyways, but at least, it could have made a difference. And I'm not just saying the Belfry game, but it's every game. Bellevue, we got on a bus that somebody chartered for us, which was awesome. Thank you, whoever done that. And, then our AD, Mr. Neil West, he comes up and says, hey, your quarterback and your offensive line, or your outside linebackers can't go. They're quarantined. Getting on the bus. So that's happened for the last 4 Fridays. So, it's just been a tough year. It's so hard to prepare. You can prepare for an injury. If you get hurt in a game, the next game you're ready. But to be told on the day of the game that your kids can't play it's just brutal for them and it's brutal for us trying to figure out what to do.
Regardless, we're always proud to be Hornets. Last night, pregame as well, just reiterating that sentiment as the entire stadium took a moment to pause in a moment of silence for a man who was always at Friday Night Lights and will forever be a big part of Hornet football.
On September the 12th, Montgomery County lost one of their most wide-known citizens as the captain of the rescue squad. Mr. Carter Conley passed away. Mr. Conley dedicated his life to the citizens of Montgomery County for 45 years. His service to the rescue squad was totally voluntary. Carter Conley was at every home football game and many events in our county. With heavy hearts, we want to remember Carter tonight and his family. Also remember his wife Vivian as she is spending the last moments of her life. Remember her. Also, we're going to take a moment of silence now in memory of Carter Conley and to remember his family, and then we will have the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field, your McGoffin County Hornets.
With all the excitement and intensity, McGoffin County wasted no time busting into the end zone. After receiving, it took only 2 plays for QB Lucas Literal to hit Aiden Barnett, who cut his way down to the 2-yard line. And with the handoff to Ben Lafferty, the Hornets are on the board in 4.5 minutes. But Floyd Central, they didn't waste any time. They picked up 9 before a big stop by Grayson Whitaker. And not getting caught until inside the 20 on the next drive. And after some big Hornet defensive stops, Floyd Central ran one in for the 6-point tie. And again for the 2-point conversion and the lead. Moments later, with 8 minutes still to go in the first, on a 2nd and 28 from the 26, the snap from Grayson Hall. Literal with time to find Barnett, and he's gone for a 72-yard touchdown run to put McGoffin County back on top. And Literal right after with the keeper tacked on 2 more. But even with some strong Hornet D, Floyd Central came back and pushed their way down to the 1, and then through the Hornet line to keep it a close one. And with the conversion, it's a 12-16 ball game. Floyd Central with 2:30 left to go in the first quarter. All this in the first quarter. In the second, though, Literal connects with Colin Literal and then walks one in himself. 18-16 with the 2-point conversion. It was 20-16 McGoffin County. But with 2 minutes left to go in the half, Floyd Central on a 4th and 1 takes it home, and they take the lead. And it looks like they'll take that lead into the half. But with 90 seconds left to play, Literal goes lateral to Barnett on the 19, and he's off. And with some help, gets all the way down to the Floyd Central 14. And scooping up a bobbled snap, Literal sees Brad Stanifer in the waiting, and he has a clear route to a Hornet touchdown, and they'll take the halftime lead, 26-22. Now down to 9 minutes left in the game. Literal keeps this one for a 14-yard TD run and takes a 46-28 McGoffin County lead on their way to a 46-36 win last night over Floyd Central, a big, all-important home field district win.
That's 4 wins, okay?
That's the first we've had in a while.
That's right. We got 3 more to go. Okay? Pike Central next week. Big game. Big game. They beat them about the same points. We gave up a couple touchdowns there at the end. That's all. Okay? So we get that off, and we're pretty much the same score. We are just as good as Pike Central. We are going to show Pike Central we're just as good as Pike Central. You got me? You got me?
And this game was much more than just 4 wins, a district game, a playoff solidifying game.
Absolutely. You know, that's it's 2 seasons in a row. You know, I'm super happy for the boys. You know, of course, as a coach, I'm happy for, you know, for us coaches as well. But I'm just so happy for the boys. You know, it's a program that's trying to grow, and you know, that's 2 great steps. Two years in a row to get the playoffs. So, and you know, we got 4 wins. We're 4-2. That's huge. You know, so I mean, everything's going in the right direction. I'm super happy. Super happy for the kids, and I don't know. Let's just keep this thing rolling.
And they're rolling right on through the rest of the regular season with all home games from here, with quarterback Lucas Literal thrilled to be at home last night for the first time this season, and thrilled to be back with his team again this year.
Definitely great to be at home. I love seeing the fans out here. Love having a pep section. That's the first time we've actually had a pep section for a while that I know of. And, you know, it's good to see everybody come out and just support.
How glad are you that you're back here this year?
I'm really glad to be back. Taking the 5th year has definitely benefited me, so I'm glad to be back.
And there was a lot riding on this game in a lot of ways tonight, wasn't there?
Yep, definitely wanted to get into the playoffs. This is our first district win. We needed that district win to get into the playoffs.
Rolled through more home games, got 3 more. I would like to see a bigger crowd. Tonight was great weather. I would like to see even more people. Our kids need that. They feed off that. And the louder we can be, the better we can be. But so next week we've got Pike Central. Really good team. It's going to be a war. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They are a great team with a great quarterback and an outstanding running back. So it's going to be a challenge. But then after that we've got Clay County here. Another 4A school, a lot bigger school than us, going to be another challenge. And then we finished out the season with Morgan County. So we got 3 more weeks, and I'd love to see everyone come out and support us.
Indeed, nothing like Friday Night Lights, especially when they're home Friday Night Lights. Congratulations, Hornets. Big win. Great win.
And remember, the Hornets wrap up their season after 3 more regular games. They're on to the postseason. We already know that. But, again, Pike Central is this Friday night at 7:30. And as you heard the coach say, Clay County and Morgan County will follow the weeks ahead, all at home. Here's your Licking Valley RACC Outlook. It was another beautiful day in the neighborhood today. We've got more of the same for the most part. We've got a big change or two coming. We've got one big change coming and another change coming. Some cold fronts will definitely be felt and noticed throughout the 7-day, with some winds accompanying the first, and then temperatures and some showers certainly being a part of the next.
Cold front number 1, it's going to give some folks in the western part of the state of Kentucky something to deal with. Not us. We will, however, see some winds tomorrow that you'll notice. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light southerly wind and 60 degrees to wrap up a beautiful, beautiful start to the work week. A lot of folks got off today. Federal holiday, of course, Columbus Day. I wasn't one of them, and a lot of you weren't either, so just saying. Tomorrow, 77. Beautiful, beautiful for your Thursday. There's like a chance of sprinkles that I really can't even put a number on after 3 o'clock tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly sunny, 77 degrees. And we'll see winds kind of calm, but then start to become south-southwest, anywhere from up to 6 to 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's kind of a little bit of after effect, but an outreach from that cold front that's in western Kentucky. All we will see is some light wind out of it, up to 10 to 15 miles per hour, so a bit breezy. Wednesday, check it out. Temperatures creep up to 79, mostly sunny, gorgeous, mostly clear Wednesday night. Thursday, I think we'll hit 80, 81 degrees, partly sunny skies, and you'll see a 20% chance of showers Thursday. That's actually Thursday night. That's actually the onset of another cold front that will have more of an effect on our weather. As far as shower chances right now, they're going to stand at 50% Friday and Saturday with some sunshine both days, but look what temperatures are going to do. Low 80s Thursday, upper 70s Friday, and then the hammer falls. We're going to almost drop 20 degrees from Thursday to Monday. Yeah, Saturday 69, partly sunny. Still a shower threat to the tune of 50%, but look at that. 62 Sunday, 62 on Monday. Yeah, nighttime lows in the low 40s.
And that's it. At this time, my intentions are to be here tomorrow with services for Vivian tomorrow, which I plan on attending. I'm sure the other members of the rescue squad and some of the community. I'm not for certain if it will be here for regular programming, a brief statement or two, COVID numbers. I just really can't say at this hour. I can say that I hope you're here at 6 to find out whatever that is, and then we'll know then, I guess, together. So with that said, thank you all for being a part of the show this Monday, and I will see you back here tomorrow night. As always, good night, and thank you again for watching.